Hey guys, Creator Mom. Good morning. Happy Friday. It's Friday again. Ooh, excuse me. I'm moving the phone in my hands. I was thinking this morning about body image again, and I was just thinking about like how it's. I think it's too ingrained in our society, in our culture. I don't know, whatever. Like it's too ingrained in our DNA. I think these thoughts have been passed down, or it's just that this idea of carrying more weight it's the way that it's unacceptable is too ingrained in us. I'm like, I don't know if this can come out of us, like, because if somebody's carrying more weight, generally the atmosphere and vibe about that is just that it's unacceptable, and it's something that you should want to change, that you need to change, because carrying more weight equals you're unhealthy. And I'm like, or you don't feel good, you feel bad. And it's just like, I wonder, because I've observed people at pools and beaches who have more weight, but they seem to look and feel fine in their bodies. And I'm just like, I wonder, does everyone carry around the shame, or what I call feeling fat, which they say feeling fat is not an emotion. I guess it's like, then I thought, okay, maybe that's really what shame feels like in reference to body weight or body image. And what we call it feeling fat. Like it just means like, oh, I'm in my body and I feel my body and it feels yucky. It feels uncomfortable. Maybe that's what we call feeling fat, because it's so delusional sometimes, because sometimes people who are 80 pounds walk around feeling fat, but you're delusional because you have no fat on you. You literally have like no body fat, but yet you're still carrying around this emotional body of like shame and yuckiness and feeling yucky in your body. That is so friggin' interesting how that happens. And then you could have somebody who actually like does have more body weight and they don't feel that. They don't feel that at all. Which is interesting, yeah. So, I don't know. I was thinking about this picture that my cousin sent me. I was sitting in my bed meditating, and the feeling was coming back to me, and I was like, okay. I was like, I'm observing this feeling. I'm observing that you are here. Like, what do you want to tell me, or what are you saying, And then I got the image of this picture that my cousin had sent me when we were little. I was like, I had to say I was probably 8 in the picture, the most. I want to say maybe 7 or 8, because I look kind of tall or something. I'm like, dang. But yeah, I'm gonna say 7 or 8. I don't know. But I think when children, like when one kid is like 5 and another one is 8, those 3 years make a big difference in size and development, as opposed to when you're in your 30s and you're 3 years apart. It really doesn't make much of a difference. But yeah, she was like, real skinny, like, and I had some meat on me, I hate even using these words. I wouldn't say like I was obese. I don't even like using that word. Sorry. But yeah, but I had some meat. I had some meat on me, you know what I'm saying? I looked healthy, but I was thinking about, man, I looked fine. I was fine. And I was thinking about how much shame that I was probably made to feel about my body. even at that age, why I didn't consciously process the negative projections about my body that were put onto me. But they were just put onto me, and my subconscious mind just received them all, you know? It's kind of like not fair, you know? It feels unfair when you feel like people have projected negative things onto you that in your adulthood that you have to work through. But, you know, we all have to go through that, you know? It just is. And even if you had perfect parents or perfect family members, like, yo, there's still gonna be somebody that fucked up your shit, you know what I mean? Like bullies in school, like the world, right? Like there's always gonna be something that brushes up against you that leaves a negative imprint on your subconscious mind, you know? And I was thinking about this the other day with like perfect parenting. I'm like, even if my parenting was perfect, which there is no such thing, right? Even as a good enough parent, you know, say you did everything right, your kids, you're still not in charge of the way that your children and you know, because they're their individual people, but you're not in charge of how they gather their perceptions and what imprints on their subconscious and what doesn't. Although we do the best we can to work on our shit so we don't negatively project on our children, of course, but even then we're not in charge necessarily of their perceptions. They will still have to work through things that maybe they perceived, you know, or received as children that wasn't necessarily the correct way or the most beneficial way or the most self-serving way to like receive it or whatever. Like, I think, in my opinion, I don't know. You see it sometimes. You think, like, you see people who come from what seem to be, like, good enough parents, although we never know. We're never, like, inside the home. We don't know the intricate details, but... And then, you know, and those individuals, you know, still have quote-unquote issues that they have to work through, or they're cutters, you know, or, hey, even worse, the child committed suicide, you know? Like, Jesus. I mean... I don't even know where I'm going here with this, but I mean, maybe nobody negatively projected on me as a kid. Or maybe it was just the projections that we pick up just from being, just from living in society, you know what I'm saying? But I'm pretty sure that projections were made on my body as I remember things being said and things being pointed out on my body. My legs and things like that, things that were not necessary, you know, things that did not need to be said to a child, you know, a growing person. Of course they were said well-meaning. People can be well-meaning and be ignorant as fuck, so I don't care. Well-meaning means nothing to me. It's just like, because people don't have fucking boundaries, you know, and you find this, I mean, you find this in every family, I think, not just Hispanic or whatever. Just people think that because they're your family member, or because they're your mother, or they're your father, or they're your fucking aunt and uncle, that they could say shit about your body. It's just like, no, get the fuck out of here. Boundaries. They don't have, a lot of people in families, they don't have boundaries. So they think just because you're their family member, they could just say it and do whatever they want to you, you know? Hence, even a lot of molestation happens right within families, you know? It's disgusting because of the lack of boundaries. And it's easy prey, you know? So, a lot of us come from a lot of garbage families, a lot of garbage within our families. But at the other side of that coin, you know, we become adults and we heal and we work through it and we overcome and we conquer, and we build ourselves up internally how we see fit. You know, once we have the the full reins of control and our conscious mind, it, fully gets developed. We're no longer children needing to walk around, receiving other people's impressions about what they think about life and what they think about body image. We get to develop our own. And, God is here to help. God is within us. Christ is in us. We're not left alone. We're not left orphans. We have a power that works in us to will and to do our good pleasure. So yeah, growing up into that understanding. Sure, it's unfair things that we experienced and went through that we shouldn't have. Excuse me. But it is what it is. And now is the time, right? To not, live in the past or look at the past, understand it for what it is, and say, okay, what core belief did I develop? And Lord, how can I change that? Or, just sitting in meditation, thinking about how can I change this belief? How can I turn this around? How can I shift this feeling? How can I overcome this? And the answers come. The answers always come. Anytime I swear, whenever I ask questions in meditation or I write them down, sometimes I have a notebook. I'm a big notebook and pen person. And it's just like, when I have concerns that come to my mind that I don't know what to do about, I just write them down, concerns. And one by one, little by little, questions are answered, concerns are and needs are met, So there is lots of hope and lots of room for change and lots of room to cultivate the feelings that we want to have, the feelings and emotions that serve us, and let go of the ones that were projected onto us subconsciously, in our childhood, whether through family, bullies in school, or society. All right, everyone, I hope you have a great day.